I really appreciate this. Well, I was all right when I was sitting down.
Come on.
Who are you, anyway?
Paul. I'm a doctor.
You know what? I can really talk to you.
Yeah.
The Spanish are all right, but they don't understand the really important things. Soft slippers, taking the dog for a walk, not like in England.
I wouldn't know. Never been there.
What's your other name?
Eduardo.
Oh, I thought you were English.
I am. My mother's Paraguayan.
Hey, here we are.
Right.
Do you mind if I call you Ted?
Call me anything you like.
She'll be with you in a minute. Gerardo!
I shan't forget this, Ted. If there is ever anything I can do for you, don't hesitate. Eh? Blood, you know.
What?
Stick it of water.
Whiskey, doctor?
Yes.
I employ your colleague, Dr. Benavente. He was here this evening. My girls are very clean.
And I'm very tired.
Oh.
Now I know where you are.
Perhaps you will come and see us another night.
Perhaps I will.
If your father had ever passed through our hands, we'd be able to locate him in a couple of hours. But in Paraguay, we're still having difficulty grasping the concept of the fingerprint.
No. I'm grateful to you for trying.
How long is it since you last heard from him?
2 years.
Let me make a couple more inquiries. How did he contact you?
My mother received a letter.
In Buenos Aires?
Yes.
Who delivered it?
Don't know. It's pushed under the door.
And none of his friends have been in touch with you or your mother since?
No. And most of them are either dead or in prison, Paraguay.
What made you move to this town?
Well, when my mother and I had to leave Paraguay, this is where we landed. I've always just... Well, I've always liked it. I've always remembered it.
Perhaps you feel it here. You feel closer to your father.
Well, you are perceptive.
For a policeman, you mean?
For anyone.
Well, I do have one quite useful instinct. I can usually tell if anyone's in any way exceptional. So when the trouble starts, I know where to look.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Eduardo.
Leon?
Leon Reedman. God. Ah. What are you doing here?
When did you leave Paraguay?
A week ago.
Look, I'm sorry. I couldn't come to your ordination. It would have been unsafe for me.
Not a priest anymore. I got married. The Archbishop didn't take it very well. I'm very lucky. She's a fine woman.
I'm glad. Come on, I'll give you a ride into town. We can talk.
I don't think it would be very wise for us to be seen together.
Why not?
Are you being watched?
I don't think so. This isn't Paraguay.
These days, there's really not a lot of difference.
Have you heard any news about my father?
I'm expecting Aquino Ribeiro to cross the border in a few weeks. We saw your father about 6 months ago.
Where? Is he all right?
We'll know when Aquino arrives. And then, Eduardo, we may need your help.
What kind of help?
I can talk now. I'll let you know as soon as possible.
Sorry there's no news about your father. We're still waiting to hear from Paraguay. How long have you known the Escobars?
I don't know them. I only just met them briefly at a party.
And she invited you, did she? Just like that?
Yes. Why?
Margarita is a lady of fierce enthusiasms. I know her quite well.
Long before they get to the root of the problem. The whole place is still overrun with Jews and communists.
Come on, Francisco, don't exaggerate. The government knows what it's doing.
But does it? The chief of police is assassinated by a 16-year-old girl?
That's unfair. The girl was a friend of the family. She stayed with him every weekend.
Exactly. Listen, what's the use of arresting one schoolgirl in the few of her friends? Who put the girl up to it? That's what we need to know. If you're fighting a war, you don't need to wear white gloves.
Well, we got through the whole of the World Cup competition here without a single terrorist outrage.
What do you think about that, Doc?
I'm sorry. I find I really don't have time to worry about politics.
But will it last? What will happen when the new administration takes over?
I'm sure we'll still be able to rely on the Americans.
Eduardo, I must warn you. You may find Margarita a little groovy.
I didn't intend to trespass on your territory.
Oh, no. I know when to withdraw gracefully.
I'm sure you do.
How about a little relaxation, huh?
Don't mind.
I must admit, they do rather spoil me, for some reason. It was most unfortunate with Margarita. Don Gustavo has an airstrip on the Chaco, which he uses to land cargoes of whiskey and cigarettes from Paraguay. Now, I tried to convey to Margarita that I wouldn't dream of interfering with such an essential and respectable business. But you know, once people get certain ideas into their heads, I could tell she just didn't trust me anymore. None was said, but he became a stranger. One of the disadvantages of a policeman's life.
Excuse me, are you available? Come on, let's go.
Have I made you miss him? Really, Eduardo, you should have said. You're far too polite.
Doesn't matter.
Do you want to go upstairs now?
Don't interrupt.
Upstairs.
Yes. As I said, do look after me very well. One of the advantages of a policeman's life. Choose who you like. I'll tell Sanchez to charge it up to me.
Is the consul in?
Yes.
Thank you. Hello?
Yes?
I'm Dr. Pla. We met one night with Humphreys.
Did we?
Look, my passport needs renewing. I brought the papers. I thought you might witness them for me.
Yes. Well, you'd better come into my office. My God, my head is splitting. You don't have any aspirins in there by any chance, do you?
Yes, of course.
Why my father ever chose to live in this damn climate, I'll never know.
Why don't you sell up, move south?
Too late. Ah, thank you.
How can you stand the taste?
Well, you get used to it. Tell you the truth, I prefer it to the taste of water. That'll be 100,000 pesos. Thank you.
This prescription won't do you any good unless you cut down on your drinking.
Would you like a drink? Funny, when you arrived, I had this vague recollection that we'd met. I assumed I owed you money.
You do. 100,000 pesos.
Hello.
Good evening.
Looking for someone?
There's an Indian girl with a mark here.
Oh, Clara. She's not here anymore. She's left.
You could be arrested. Come on, get them out! Get them out!
I'm not surprised. The army's out to here with dim-witted bureaucrats.
Stupid idiots.
They had a tip-off that the hospital was being used as a base for subversive activities.
Subversive activities? So they arrest 200 mentally disturbed patients.
Is prison much worse than a nut house? What's the difference? Don't worry, it's all arranged. They'll be back in the hospital in a matter of hours. You have my guarantee.
I hope so.